Big Mike here with
Ace Entertainment.
Today we got another UFC legend.
Another one.
Chris, the Crippler Leben, fighting in the middleweight division with a record of 22-11.
This guy's a legend. If you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button. If you're looking for a mug, perhaps a hoodie, head on over to IOnlyTouchGreatness.com.
What up? I'm the Crippler, UFC fucking legend, and I'm coming on You Only Touch Greatness podcast.
We the best, just like Khaled says, we the best. We stay hot to death, we the best. Always down to wreck. This Hayes Entertainment, what you know about that? We the best, just like Khaled says, we the best. We stay hot to death, we the best. Always down to wreck. This Hayes Entertainment, what you know about that?
Can't beat us, we MCs. I make cats run like DMC. My boy gets tased, it's the ENT. On the track, I blow like TNT. Hot boys like CMB. Girls spend the night like a B&B. I say what I want what I say. Remain at the top, I'm the top of the game. Step back, I come up quick fast. So fast, when I stop, y'all get whiplash. So what you wanna say today? Hate the game, dog, I'm the ace of spades. A call player, bet it's not over.
Frank Hayes and Big Mike are taking over the podcast scene in Vancouver. Get down or lay down.
We the best, just like Khaled says, we the best. We stay hot to death, we the best. Always down to wreck. This Hayes Entertainment, what you know about that? We the best, just like Khaled says, we the best. We stay hot to death, we the best. Always down to wreck. This Hayes Entertainment, what you know about that?
We the best, yes, that's something I can put plain. Hey, cause them ballers get paid. Pop bottles, homie, got dollars for days. Get low, sit low, when them politics trades. You want West Coast, just holla at Hayes.
We the best, just like Khaled says, we the best. We stay hot to death, we the best. Always down to wreck. This Hayes Entertainment, what you know about that? We the best, just like Khaled says, we the best. We stay hot to death, we the best. Always down to wreck. This Hayes Entertainment, what you know about that?
Let's go. He's here. Hey, legend. Hey, legend.
What up, man?
How's it going?
Good, doing good.
I'm Ryan, by the way. I'm the guy talking to you right now.
Big Mike.
What up, man?
And this is Big Mike. Thanks, at least we figured that out, right?
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Okay. How's your day
Thank
going?
you very much for taking the time for us today.
Yeah, man, of course. No problem.
How's your day?
Day's been pretty good. Busy day, so that's good. It keeps me out of trouble.
Born in Portland and you fought out of California. What was life and childhood like?
In Portland, it was rough. Yeah. It was rough, you know. Grew up in a meth house, and you know, not a lot of money, not a lot of parental attention. So, you know, I just kind of really I did what I wanted for the most part as a kid. So, you know, my younger years were rough, but by the time I was 13, I was out of the house most of the time anyways.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
I wrestled.
Oh,
and
okay.
I rode skateboards. That's it.
Right on.
Portland's one of the most beautiful cities there is. I enjoy Portland every time I go there all the time.
Sure, yeah. 3 months a year, it's great.
Yeah, right. The sunny part.
It's the other fucking 9 months that it sucks.
Yeah, same here in Vancouver. We got the same shit here.
That's it. Vancouver's beautiful. You go at the right time, fucking gorgeous. You go at the wrong time, guess what? It's horrible.
Yeah, we have much of the same weather, of course, being only a 2-hour drive to Seattle and 6 to Portland. So
yeah. Well, I lived in Seattle for a while too. I was up in Everett.
Okay.
Everett's even rainier than Seattle. Cloudy all day. I got a saying now. It's better to be broke on the beach than rich in the rain.
True story.
That's a pretty good damn quote.
That's it, man. That's my mantra nowadays.
So how did you get into fighting in the first place? And when did it actually start, like the MMA?
You know, my mom had, because we were low income, my mom was able to get, like at all the like parks, city parks and shit. I did martial arts and karate, YMCA, because all those classes were like free babysitting, and she got them for free, so I did that stuff growing up, but it wasn't until 7th grade that I started doing some boxing, and then some legit boxing, and then freshman year when I started wrestling. And then I wrestled freshman, sophomore year, and then I basically started wrestling year round after that. Got out, did a brief stay in the military. Things didn't work out great. Got out of that and instantly went into fighting.
Okay.
What drives you to get up and train every morning?
Not getting the shit kicked out of me in front of my friends and family is pretty motivating.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing. Every fight, I'm like, well, fuck, what did I decide to do this for? It's this fucking nightmare. But I've never been one of those guys that skips practices or that makes an excuse or that is late to practice. If I'm always there, always have been. Even when I was partying, I always showed up the next day to train. And honestly, that's, part of that, joking aside is what I said before. Yeah. Not wanting to lose, but that not wanting to lose is also, the drive to win, I was just competitive. And, my brother, when I was young, I mean, he thought, he moved up to a gas station that had like 12 pumps, and he was, tweaking, running back and forth between all the pumps. He thought he was big time in it, and I didn't want to be that guy, and school really wasn't an option for me. As soon as I found, I loved martial arts. I loved wrestling. It's the only reason I ever graduated high school. So when I found Team Quest, not only did I have the camaraderie of the team and the gym, but now I had a purpose, something to train for. And, as soon as I had that first fight, man, that was it. You know what I mean? Like back then,
You were hooked.
Like the FCFF, Chael Sonnen show had some underground form, and people were talking. I was like, there's like 8 people talking about me. And I got that, got my hand raised and got that little bit of respect, hey man, good job. That was, for a 21-year-old Chris Leben, I was on top of the world, man. That high was intense, and I've been chasing it ever since.
Okay.
Who are the biggest?
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say, who are the biggest influences in your career? Who did you look up to fighting wise?
Well, obviously Randy Couture, Matt Lindland, Robert Follis were my 3 first coaches. All 3 of those guys made a huge influence on me, particularly Robert Follis. And then I went up. I trained with Matt Hume. He was a huge inspiration. Training partners around the world, obviously in Hawaii too. As far as fighting goes, I really idolized Vanderlei Silva. He was one of my favorites. I remember, before my first fight and when I first started fighting, there was this Japanese video or toy store in Portland, Oregon, and I catch the bus across town because he would rent me the bootleg Prides that he copied. That he got mailed from Japan. So I get all the Prides from him, watch every one of them, in Japanese. And, Vanderlei was definitely a big influence on me.
So when you fought him, that must have meant a lot to you then, bring you back to that fight.
It did. It really did. He was a mentor of mine through my training in my younger years. I mean, still is, the things that guy did, nobody can take away, so yeah, I mean that was a fight that I asked for. Dana told me no several times, and then finally once I was able to beat Akiyama, who was slated to fight Vanderlei, I stepped in last minute and ended up winning the fight. That's what got that fight lined up.
Okay.
You know, my old man, my dad was fucking jumping up and down when he heard that I was having you on. You spent like the majority of the last 15 years. He was always a fan of yours, and we obviously know why. You were one of the toughest son of a bitches out there. I hate to call you a son of a bitch, but yeah, dude, you were awesome.
A mean motherfucker.
Yeah. Can I ask a non-serious question for a second? Being from Portland, you ever been to Casa Diablo?
Casa Diablo. Oh man, it sounds really familiar.
Okay.
Really familiar. What is it?
It's a little bit out of town, about maybe 30 minutes in like Sukamoose or some city out there. It's a world famous strip club.
I've been to Portland's got a lot of them, dude.
Yeah.
Portland's got a lot of them. I do miss that about Portland because the environment at the strip club is different. You can go, you can get a burger, you can play some pool with your friends. You know what I mean? Like you could show up with your chick. Here in San Diego, it's not like that. You go in the strip club, you're going for one reason. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, they have that strip club.
Portland's got some phenomenal strip clubs. I don't know if they got the best strippers, but they got great strip clubs. Now, BC, that's a different story.
Yeah, we got a lot of them. We used to be actually called, before they got rid of all our strip clubs, we were like the Sin City of Canada. I know that
they got rid of all your strip clubs.
A lot of them. We got like one or two.
How dare them?
I know, right?
Did you ever fight out here, by the way?
Not sanctioned. No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
I've been out there a couple times. I think the last time I went up to Whistler, and I don't remember what happened. I woke up in a massage parlor, passed out on a table.
I don't know either. I tell the wife the same thing. And
I look over, they had like this hot tub, but I'd stained the whole thing fucking red because my hair was bright red. This little Japanese dude is yelling at me, telling me to fucking, I don't know what he was saying. So I was like, oh, fuck you. And I start putting my pants on. And right when I start to walk out the door, that's when the cops are right there. So they end up arresting me, or at least putting me in handcuffs. They're walking me out. There's snow on the ground. I got no shoes on. And then my friends that I went up there with, they come walking the other direction by me, like they were just coming back from breakfast. I still have no clue how I ever got myself into that predicament.
We always call it Whistler.
Yeah. Hence why I don't drink anymore.
Yeah, that's a good accomplishment, and congrats on that too.
Thanks, man. Thanks. But yeah, I love Canada. I don't know if I'm allowed anymore, but
I was telling my other American friends we're gonna build a tunnel for you.
There we go.
So what was your favorite strike and submission, or still is?
What's my favorite striking submission?
No, what's your favorite strike and submission?
Punching him in the face, I think.
Don't matter.
Knocking him out.
Yeah.
In all honesty, no, I love jiu-jitsu, so I don't know. I've been playing a lot from the front headlock as of lately. Reverse triangle, that sort of boring stuff that people probably don't care about. As far as fighting goes, there's nothing better than just catching somebody clean and watching their lifeless body collapse,
Absolutely. Do you still watch the UFC, by the way?
I do when I can. I stay pretty busy. So usually I watch most of the pay-per-views. And then
there was a nasty knockout last week. I don't know if you saw it. It was like a body slam. It was the only 12th one ever to happen. It was nasty. Okay.
Yeah, I heard about it. I get the ESPN Plus updates on my phone. I'm staying in touch.
Yeah, you got the technology going on.
That's it. Yeah,
I got one. If you could sit down for dinner with anybody dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh man, am I supposed to give you a funny answer or
Hey,
or
let's
a real
not
answer?
let's not get personal on this. This is so we don't have to do that.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of old philosophers and physicists that would be pretty interesting. Einstein obviously would be pretty cool. I'm a big fan of Nietzsche. A lot of old guys like that would be interesting to hear their take on life, I suppose. Definitely would be somebody that had an intense life. It would be interesting to hear, how they went through all those battles.
I always answer that question with Tupac would be mine.
Yeah, that wouldn't be my choice.
No, I know.
I would definitely be going Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali would be cool. It'd be cool. I'm sure he would have some pretty freaking rad stories.
Absolutely.
You have a favorite movie about sports or fighting?
I like the cheesy ones, man. I like Bloodsport. I like
Great
the Rockies. Foot Fist Way's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good one. And Kung Fu Hustle, probably.
Okay. All-time leader in UFC middleweight fights. What's it feel like to hold that record still?
Am I?
Yeah, you are.
Really? Okay. Well, cool. Pretty good, man. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to put that up. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yep.
put that on your Instagram profile.
Yeah. All right. Sweet.
Watch my stats be wrong. You fought in the first 5-round fight as well. That was not a non-title fight. That must have been unique.
Yeah, it didn't go 5 rounds, so I mean, whatever, at the time, I remember I kind of thought it was bullshit. I was like, well, they ought to pay me a little more. You know what I mean? Like, wait, now I got to fight. Hey, surprise, you're fighting 5 rounds.
I heard Dana White's wallet's pretty tight. I don't think he was going to pay you anymore.
Yeah, no, he did. He certainly didn't.
What was your favorite ring entrance music?
I always like something upbeat. I used to come into Red Hot Chili Peppers, Roller Coaster Love. Something you can kind of get a beat to. You can bounce around, get your footwork going. That's probably one of my favorite walkout songs.
Okay.
Okay, how often did you dye your hair?
Well, through my UFC career, every fight, then these last couple bare knuckle matches, it's like, fuck, man, I'm 40 years old. I'm walking around looking like Ronald McDonald, not to mention, when I dye the hair red, everybody seems to recognize me, It's a little easier just to keep it brown and kind of fly in.
And blend in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, do you have a favorite venue that you never got to fight in and one that you did get to fight in?
I never got a fight in Japan, and I had a fight booked in Pancrase, and then I got slated to fight in Pride against Hayato Mock Sakurai. So I ended up giving the fight to Ed Herman, and I went over there with Eddie and Chael and cornered them when they fought in Pancrase, and then turned out my Pride fight fell through. So I never got a fight in Japan, and being a huge fan of Japanese fighting, their shows, the way they're done, that would have been something big for me.
Okay, yeah, Kenny Florian, we just had on. He said the exact same thing. He would have loved to fight in Japan. Yeah,
I really would have.
You fought some of the best fighters all time. Obviously, Anderson Silva, Pat Cote, Mike Swick, Bisping, and Hall. Just to name a few. Do any stick out more than one another?
Obviously, my Vanderlei fight was huge. That stuck out. For me personally, fighting Bisping was another one that was really big because we were in England. I can't remember what the name of the arena was, but it was fucking huge. It was sold out, main event, everybody's cheering for him and booing me. And about halfway through the fight, they started cheering for me and booing him. So that fight was, I ended up losing the decision. Bisping's a tough mofo, but it was a great fight nonetheless. I enjoyed it.
What's the best part about competing?
Winning. That would be winning. Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I say this, and I think people think I'm joking when I tell them, like, I don't even like competing. Like, I tell the actual fight, man, look, it's fucking scary. It hurts. You got a lot to lose. There's so much your training camp that you put in. Your coaches that got their faith in you. You're trying to make money for yourself. And also you want them to get that extra money too. So the stress is really fucking high that week of the fight, and all you want to do is win, and then you go out there and you obviously you put it all on the line, and as soon as that fight's over, when you get your hand raised, then it's like, oh fuck, shit, it was all worth it. Thank God, like, it's so funny because, like I was saying earlier, to you guys, like the week of the fight, I'm like, what the fuck, man, what, and then I win the fight, and then next thing I know, I'm on the phone again booking another one. Like I must love it. I think more than anything, I love the training, the preparing, the having a goal, and the reaching and conquering that goal. That's what I love about fighting.
When we have the hockey fighters on our show, they always say that when you can look into a guy's eyes and see that they don't have any fear in the fight, you're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think maybe a little different, because when I say fear, like, obviously you guys have watched me fight. It's not like I'm scared when I'm in there fighting. Like, I get hit, I go forward, but honestly, as soon as the bell rings, it's kind of like, I always say that too. I only got to get to the fight, or let's get it on. As soon as that goes, all my work, all my preparation, everything I can do is done. At that point, I now have pulled the trigger, and all the work that's went in is going to perform one way or another. That's kind of how I feel about the fight. Once I'm in there, I'm on fucking autopilot, man. Okay. I'm listening to my coaches. I'm doing what they told, you know what I mean? But for the most part, it's, it's cruise control. You're not thinking. You don't have time to worry. Maybe there's a little bit of worry in between rounds, but during the fight, there's no time to stress, because I'm too busy, dodging punches, or at least trying to. Never been good at it.
How did you celebrate after a win?
Well, in the UFC, the old me, I got loaded. That's it. Usually I would, if I was fighting in Vegas, I might stay a couple extra days, spend a bunch of money, hang out by the pool at the Hard Rock. You know what I mean? And I kind of always had this training cycle that was like, after a fight, party for a month, kind of clean up, start training and clean up for a month, get ready for my 2-month training camp, and then fight again. And if you did it that way, that's 3 fights a year, so that's kind of what I figure. 1 month for partying, 1 month for in-between transition stage, and 2 months for hard training camp.
Okay.
If you were an animal, what would you be?
Oh, I'd like to say tiger. I don't know with the size of my head, though. Probably a bear.
So we've all been there, obviously, but I'm still gonna shoot the shot. Did you actually piss on Thacker's bed?
I spritzed. It's it's the terminology, man. That's just the last little bit, kind of. But
that's the old.
Yeah, and truth be back then, man, I was an asshole. You guys asked me about my childhood early in the broadcast, and because of the way I grew up and everything else, growing up in the hood and having a rough life, I didn't understand that I was being a dick. That's just the shit we did to each other. That wasn't even a big deal. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, you got loaded and pissed on your buddy? Ha, that's funny. Did he punch you? Yeah, hit me in the face, fucker. You know what I mean? Like move on, you know?
Oh,
Mike,
yeah.
Mike, have you
We've
ever
done the
pissed on-
same shit. Trust me.
No, no, you've never pissed on me.
Well, I've never pissed on you. I've done a lot of other shit to you.
Yeah, that does happen too.
You don't know.
I still remember when I threw the pallet on you.
Anyway,
I still remember when I threw. Yeah, he's taking a piss, and I'm hammered. So I'm like, oh fuck, it looks like a good idea. Pick up a wooden pallet and just whip it at his back while he's pissing. Boom,
Well,
down he goes.
like a frisbee, like a frisbee. He's a 7
That's
foot
way
tall.
worse. Like a frisbee, that's way worse than the flat part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's like 7 feet tall, and I'm like 5 feet tall. So it's like he's throwing this huge fucking forklift. What's it called?
Pallet, wooden pallet.
And he threw it like a frisbee, and it hit me in the back while I was pissing. How do you get rid of? How do you get rid of the butterflies before a fight?
You don't.
Okay.
You don't. You sit through them.
Have you ever been in a fight, Chris, where you actually like knew the guy was fucking scared of you and you were just gonna beat the piss out of him? Like, have you ever seen fear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had it both ways. You know, I've been in fights where I thought I was going to lose, but I was still going to go out there and fight either way. You know, Vandalay was one of those. Benji Raddick was another one. Because, you know, when I fought Benji Raddick in Sport Fight, I trained with him, man. He kicked the shit out of me in training. Like, I could do nothing against that guy, you know, and it was early on in my career. And, you know, I went out there and he kicked the shit out of me for 2.5 rounds, you know, and then somehow I ended up breaking his jaw, you know, lucked out, landed that shot, you know, so, all you can, you know, Randy used to tell me, he used to say, it's a controlled explosion, you know, like, you know, two people are going over a roller coaster. One's got their hands in the air. The other one's like, they feel the same thing. You know, I think everybody feels that. I'm confident everybody feels that, but it's in how you interpret it. You know, yeah, I'm sweating. Yeah, I've peed 27 fucking times in the last hour getting ready for this fight, but that's my body preparing for battle. That's me getting ready to get out there and do what I do. That's not fear. That's me preparing for battle. That's the way that I look at it when I'm backstage.
Do you have a pre-fight meal or a ritual?
He already went out for ritual.
Well, yeah, I do. You know, I try to have my nutrition dialed in, you know, pre-fight, and then when I get to the venue, if I'm not going to fight for 3 hours, I'm going to walk back and forth for 4 hours. Literally, I find the hallway and I just pace. I just walk back and forth. It's just easier for me. I just don't stop walking. Kind of puts me in like a trance, you know. You know, this is what I do. You know, I'm fucking stronger. I trained harder. I'm fucking better. I'm gonna fucking kill this guy, and I just keep walking and thinking that in my head the whole time.
You think it's kind of like riding the bike before other sports, like football or hockey? They might ride the bike before they go. You're getting your body warmed up.
That's it. Just a long, slow warm up, you know, and then, you know, then I'll you know, I'll hit some mitts, warm up. And then maybe when, you know, there's one fight in between, I'll hit mitts again, and then I'll be on deck.
So what made you finally call it quits in the MMA world and go to Bare Knuckle?
Well, you know, I mean, you know, it's a long and interesting story. You know, I was having some major issues, you know, in my life, the last part of my UFC career, you know, particularly, you know, with that first 5-round fight, you know, that's, you know, I ended up testing positive for Oxycontin, got suspended for a year, got put on Suboxone, came back to the UFC, was kind of wishy-washy about training, was just not amped, you know, and you know, I was a little bit doped up on the meds the docs were giving me. I would have told you I was sober because I thought I was. I was just taking what the doctor was giving me. But I wasn't who I used to be. And I think that showed in my last couple of UFC fights. Well, long story short, I got cleaned up, man. I got off the subs. I quit drinking, quit doing anything else, changed my life around. My head cleared. All of a sudden, I could remember phone numbers and names, and people were like, man, your eyes, there's something different about you, And then, next thing I know, I was kicking the shit out of all the 20-year-olds in the gym again. And I was like, what the fuck, man? I feel better. I feel sharper than I ever have, And so I signed a contract with Bellator because UFC didn't want me. Signed a contract with Bellator. And I ended up failing my pre-fight medicals because I had ruined my heart. Pretty much they said, alcohol and cocaine apparently not good for your ticker, So my ejection fraction was at like 14%. They told me I needed a new heart transplant. I probably wouldn't have time to make it, In other words, you're probably going to die type deal.
Holy shit.
But, I kept training. I never took a day off. They told me they didn't even want me to walk upstairs, and I remember Barrett, my coach, I'd be training and he'd make me stop because I turned white, because I just wasn't getting air to my body or brain, long story short, I went back in a year later. My cardiologist says, oh, good thing, man, because you don't even need a new heart anymore. Now we just need to put this vehibulator pacemaker thing in you, and I said, well, can I do jujitsu? And then at that time I wasn't even thinking about fighting. She's like, yeah, you can't do jujitsu with it in. And I was like, well, I don't want it, and they're like, well, she's like, well, I got to tell you, you got, this % chance you'll die within the next year if you don't get it. So I didn't get it. Talked to my old lady and I was like, look, that % chance is for people that don't stop drinking, that don't turn their life around, And I had done everything. I changed the people I hang out with. Like I said, quit all substances that were bad for my body, was doing a bunch of, organic raw herbs, Chinese medicine type shit, moved by the beach,
CBD?
made sure I was fucking on the beach every day, and continued to, my heart kept getting better, came back in a year later. She said, wow, you don't even need a pacemaker anymore. This is incredible. It's a miracle. Apparently, you take out, the body's pretty fucking magical. You take out the bad shit, put in some good shit. It'll get out of the way. It'll heal itself, and so.
Did you ever use CBD for recovery?
What's that?
Did you ever use CBD for the recovery?
Snake oil.
Okay.
I've tried CBD, and I just, any product they say, hey, you got anxiety, take some CBD for that. Can't sleep, take some CBD for that. What? Inflammation, take some CBD for that. You got a rash on your skin, put some CBD on it. Like, but you know what I mean? Like it can't work for everything. I still question the efficacy of some of it. And I know that there's a lot of people that stand behind it, but I've never found anything that was incredible for me. And maybe that's just, I haven't been I haven't been out there sampling all sorts of different CBDs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
don't smoke weed either, right?
I don't smoke weed either. No.
Did you back in the day?
Never let you know what about 14 or 15 I grew up and started doing real drugs like an adult.
Fuck.
Weed was always kind of like a child thing to me. Like it's boring, like smoke weed with your buddies. The next thing you know, you're all going to go to the mall and talk to girls. Next thing you know, you're fucking sitting on the couch eating fucking chili cheese burritos, watching some bullshit on TV, and I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to do this, So I gave that up in high school. Okay.
What's been the biggest differences for you with the MMA and the bare knuckle?
Fuck, man. A fight's a fight. A fight's a fight, Bare knuckle is interesting in the way that it's 2-minute rounds, so it's a full sprint. You know what I mean? Like you gotta come out the gate blazing, or you lost the round. The other thing is, those punches count because you're gonna get cut. You're gonna get cut. That's for certain. It's extremely exciting. As a fan, I love bare knuckle. I love to watch it. you watch how people take those punches. You see some people the first time they get hit with no glove on, and they're like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
So all the shows are extremely entertaining. But for me,
Is there way more knockouts?
I just saw it. They just posted some actual medical literature on it. Believe it or not, there's more knockouts. There's more lacerations, but there's less head trauma than both boxing and MMA. Because a lot of those knockouts are coming from cuts.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stoppages, TKOs, and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I mean, occasionally, guys get fully slept. Fully slept. I'd say that's about the same as MMA, because it's not that the concussion is that. Really, it's the those bare knuckles, on your face, man. That's a world of difference the way it hits the skin. Than a glove. It spreads that impact out. It's right in that one knuckle. Just cuts to the bone quick.
What was the worst cut you ever had there, Chris Leben?
Well, I had this one. I don't know if you can see it right here. This was 23 or 26 stitches above my eye, and then the same fight I got cut down here, and my nose ended up they had to stitch my nose back on this side, so broke my orbital at the bottom. It was a little fucked up.
Don't
That's
worry,
nasty.
my beak's crooked too, man, so don't worry.
I'm pretty lucky. It's funny, if you look through the years, it's tilted this way, then a couple years later it's this way. And here I am towards the end of my career, and it's pretty lined up.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, I guess. Unfortunately I don't want to get beat up again, but
I got mine broke straight,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah. Is there one fight that you wanted to happen that never did end up happening?
I don't think one person, maybe one more. We'll see. My last.
Sorry,
Go ahead.
you ever think you're gonna go back to UFC if they ever offered it to you, or you're done?
I'm done with the UFC. Yeah, I'm certain they're not going to offer it to me. They just cut 60 people. They cut fucking Romero this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the. So, unless they start a Masters division.
Yeah. Hey, no, you'll be in there.
The Legends division.
That's it. I'd be there for that.
That's
But,
good.
Chris,
That's
hey, Chris, Legends fights. That would be a sweet idea.
That would be really cool. Yeah. I thought they were I saw something like that actually, and I can't remember who was talking about doing it. There was some talk about that a while back. I know that was kind of the idea initially with the Tyson card. Was like Badu Jack, who was a retired world champ, and then they were going to do the way I had heard it before it was public knowledge was it was going to be old names fighting on the whole entire undercard.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it would have been sweet. Instead, they went with a fucking YouTube star and a fucking NBA guard. Like, what
a joke! What a joke!
Hey, did you watch those? You obviously watched those fights then.
I did. Thank God I was in Mexico, so I didn't have to pay $50 for it, because that was a fucking cash grab if I ever seen one. Man,
even the Tyson fight. Like, I love Tyson, but that was terrible.
And the problem is people that don't know fighting that well. We're like, I thought the fight was pretty good. Like, dude, you're out of your mind. Those guys weren't even trying.
No,
that was a glorified sparring match. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Tyson they're like, Tyson went up. I'm like, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He's those are two of the best boxers alive. You think they couldn't have put more heat on those punches if they wanted to?
Absolutely.
You think they couldn't have followed up when they landed a good one? Sure, they could.
And they
knew exactly what they were doing. And then this is what
draw, so they can do another one.
Well, here's the thing. It was an exhibition fight, right? Exhibition means demonstration, means there's no fucking winner in an exhibition match. As a matter of fact, it's against the law to have a winner when you're doing exhibition bouts. Now, I saw a thing with Teddy Atlas. Somehow they got away. They pulled some strings with the commission to allow them to score the fight, which was already against the rules.
Which you're not allowed to do on an exhibition fight, because then you have to have it sanctioned.
Exactly, which you're not allowed to do. So they're like, okay, well, don't fuck us and just score a draw. So I think a lot of people knew that fight was going to be scored a draw before it ever started.
Yeah.
And I think both the boxers knew they were going to box to about a draw. If you want me to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win the Mark Hunt and Paul Gallen boxing match? You hear about that one?
God, what is it? What is it?
Oh, Mark Hunt used to be in the UFC. He's
I know
boxing.
Mark Hunt. Yeah.
He's boxing Paul Gallen. He's 10-0 as a boxer, but he's actually a rugby player. He's boxing him on the 16th.
Okay, that'll be interesting. What show is that?
It's Australian boxing, I believe.
Australian boxing. All right.
Yeah.
We had Mark Hunt on here 2 nights ago telling us this story.
Love Mark Hunt. Always have. Huge Mark Hunt fan.
Florian was saying good stuff about you tonight.
Who was?
Kenny Florian.
Oh, good. Oh, that's nice. That's nice of him. He lied. Good.
he said, honestly, he said something about when you joked or you pissed on the bed. He said rolled over. He's like, no, he didn't, and he rolled over and went back to bed.
Yeah. Honestly, Florian's a good guy, man. Like that guy a lot. Always fun. Good dude. A lot of the guys from the show. I talked to Diego not that long ago. I stay in touch with Stephen Bonner. Talked to Forrest not that long ago. A lot of those guys on that first season were great.
That first
but
season made the UFC.
It did.
And I think a lot of us now too, we've grown up. I think that they understand that a lot of the shit that I did on that show was fuck, man. I was 22 years old,
Yeah.
We were kids. I just turned 40 now.
Yeah.
So hard to believe the show's that old, but yeah, that long ago.
Yeah,
hey, you got a tattoo or two? What's your favorite?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I like them all. I kind of got a theme going, kind of like that Japanese theme. So I think I like my back tattoo. I think that's pretty sweet. Every tattoo I get, is kind of like fights. It's all the newest one is my favorite. You know what I mean? What's the most important fight of your life? Well, that's the next one.
Yep, that's me too. You always keep moving, and you get whatever you're feeling in those couple of years that you get a new one.
Yeah, I've been holding out though. Tattoos suck sober, man. They're way worse. So I've certainly slowed down the last few years and getting. I got a few more. I got an idea for the next one I'm going to get. So just got to figure out where to put it.
No, they do suck sober.
What was it like fighting for Dana White?
I mean, Dana's cool. I like Dana. I think we have a good relationship now. I would definitely, say that he's a businessman and he's great at his job. You know what I mean? Like he can be an asshole to get what he wants. You know what I mean? And he can be a real nice guy to get what he wants. So he's quite talented at his job.
What's the shortest notice you ever had for a fight?
Oh, that would be Akiyama. Yeah, because it was a 14-day turnaround.
Wow.
And so I think I fought Aaron Simpson, flew home the next day, then the next day I was ordered a large pizza. I was sitting on my couch eating a large pizza, and then I got a call from the UFC, from Joe Silva, saying, hey, we want you to fight next weekend after next, and it was already the middle of that week. So by the time I had found out about it, it probably that I knew was probably 9 days.
Wow.
For a UFC fight. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your favorite piece of memorabilia that you got? Like, did you ever save anything over the years from a fight or something that's priceless to you?
Scars.
I'm not I'm actually like an anti-pack rat. My home growing up could have been on fucking hoarders. Bro. My mom would go buy whole fucking garage sales. So I hate anything extra. I don't want no fucking candles. I don't want no bullshit in my house at all. So that being said, the only thing I ever kept were all my autograph posters from the UFC, from all my fights. I got a poster signed by everybody, got it fucker framed, and I kept that. That's it.
That's pretty sweet.
Hey, that's awesome. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Everybody always tells us their gloves and their bloody shorts, but no one ever gets the posters signed.
No, man, your poster's nice and clean. You know what I mean? I don't want no fucking bloody shorts sitting around for years.
Yeah, go.
I'll sell that shit so quick, man. I've sold people fucking mouthpieces, cups, you name it. They want to collect. Fuck, you can have it, bro. Like, I don't want that shit, you know?
What do you want to be remembered for at the end of your career?
You know, I mean, a real answer would be, just, the trials and tribulations, both in the ring and outside of the ring that I was able to overcome. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that, it's motivating to some people. And I hope that now, that as a coach, the things that I've been through, the battles that I've had, I can give some good advice to somebody. You know what I mean? And that, you don't have to be the, I certainly was never the most athletic guy, but I fought at the highest level for a long time. And a lot of that was just on will and on grit, and if I could be remembered for those things, that would probably be it.
Okay. Is there any fighters up and coming that you got any in mind that are going to be great?
We got some good ones. Training partner of mine is fighting this weekend on boxing on ESPN Plus. CC, he's gonna be boxing. He wins this fight, he's gonna be looking real good. So pretty excited to watch that one. At the arena where I do some of my training, there's a lot of great MMA fighters, great jiu-jitsu practitioners, great boxers. If I start naming names, I'm gonna forget somebody and get in trouble. So I'll just just say there's lots, and especially as a referee here in California, pre-COVID, I was every weekend or every other weekend. I'm at a show somewhere in Southern California, reffing and watching the talent. And one thing I can say is the sport is continually evolving so fast, and the skill level of some of these amateurs today. I mean, don't get me wrong, you still see some shitty fights, and there's still a lot of people that get in the cage that have no place being there, that don't understand what they're doing. But overall, the skill level of the average martial artist is so much higher than it was when I was even in the UFC. That amateurs are fighting at that level, the UFC 10, 15 years ago.
Okay. Who's winning the main event this weekend? Figueiredo or Moreno?
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
I got
go
one.
ahead.
I got one. If you could sing one karaoke song, what would it be?
I don't sing.
Well, okay.
I don't sing. I don't dance no more, man. I spent too long trying to be cool to fucking stand up on stage and blow it doing karaoke.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's too risky for me. Too risky.
That's how I feel.
Maybe you pull it off, or maybe you pull it off too well. Then you seem kind of fucking like a pussy, right? So you either suck or you do too good. It's like it's a lose-lose singing karaoke.
True story.
Best answer we've had on that one.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, I just want to thank you very much for taking the time for us today and coming on. We really appreciate it. We've been big fans of yours for years, obviously. And we wish you the best of luck in the rest of your life and career.
Right on. Thanks. And hey, man, if I could say something to all the people listening, if you guys haven't been watching the Bare Knuckle, check it out. You know, I'm doing some work for the BKFC. I'm running their tryouts, doing some other stuff, and may have some more news coming up soon with them. So, you know,
Hey, we'll get you back on.
Yeah, get me back on, and everybody, you know, check out my Instagram, Twitter, all that bullshit.
And I'll be posting all that in the beginning. Hey, that works. Let's go.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Chris.
it.
We look forward to having you on again.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey, Merry
Take
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, bada boom, bada boom.
That was a good one. He's funny.
That guy is great.
Yeah, he had lots of stories. He's good shit. That was awesome.
I know. And then fucking a couple of strip club stories for the boys.
Oh man.
Hey,
Our next episode is going to be an absolute beauty coming up here too.
I know. Dallas Smith. Let's go.